All right, so we are back with another sixth list, and we got a special one here. To me, is a very special one because it's a personal one for me as well, right? This is a gentleman that I've known for many years. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him grow through life and through his accomplishments as well. You know what I mean? So I'm very proud to be able to sit with this gentleman here today and get our chop it up on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So with no further ado, we have Antwi BUNZ Atuahene.
Down again, they searching for my wave so they can steal my flow again. And I got bars, though I'm no Drizzy Drake, maybe close. Ghost Rider or not, that man's the GOAT. Don't even go in depth, they broil your ass to death.
You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of people who see him on Instagram and stuff like that, they see him as Noir. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into that right away, okay? Before we get to the buns part.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about Noir and that movement that you're championing, right? And the website. Because you got the website pumping, you know what I'm saying? It says you specialize in event culture, creative design, content and storytelling, marketing, consulting, and merchandising. That's a lot of stuff, man. So, like, tell us about that whole movement and how that came together.
Perfect. Well, first of all, I'm definitely honored to be here. Friday to me is like one of my big brothers in the city that really taught me how to not just hustle, but do it effectively. You know, when I was 16, 17 years old, backstory, before we get directly into it, Friday used to pick me up, drop me at the studio, come back, drop a 16, or he'd be writing his 16 on the back of a McDonald's bag, come to the studio, we're doing mixtapes and making sure everything else is coordinated, running an enterprise by himself. And that put that in my head at a young age of being an entrepreneur. So I always thank him and look up to him for that.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that, man.
Noir started off as Ball Noir years ago,
Yeah.
and which was just basically something that I would do for the city in terms of community events. I started with my T-Dot shirt because I traveled so much. I wanted something that can represent my city everywhere I go. So I had that T-Dot logo, and over time, as I matured, I wanted to take the ball out of it so I can be a lot more versatile in things that I was starting to do. So we changed it, or we modified it to Noir, kind of like Rockefeller going to Rock Nation. And by this time, I was already in the fields of marketing, event planning, doing luxury events, brand managing for players and artists as well at the same time. And it's consulting for a lot of, being the middleman between a lot of deals. Things that the NBA agents and the players are having miscommunication, I'm the middle person in between that, communicating for both sides. So things, I was doing stuff like that. And obviously the ethos of Noir is storytelling. So most of our work or our events or our merchandise all tell a story. Like with our Kings merchandise, I want people to be able to look at all those names, and even if they don't know who they are, go do the research. So now when you're wearing something, you know the storyline behind it, and vice versa with the Queens. Even a lot of the events is geared towards integrating sports, entertainment, educating a little bit, and then merchandise all in one. So you're getting an experience without even thinking. You're getting to the experience like, this is amazing, but when you leave, like I purchased a shirt, I learned a little bit about my culture, I had fun watching a basketball game, and I heard some dope music. So it's all in one that you're getting without even noticing. So it's that fusion or that integration what makes us stand out and be pretty special.
So like Noir is like more of a lifestyle than anything.
It's more of a lifestyle brand. It's more of a
yeah.
lifestyle brand. That's what we curate it as.
And
it stands for, it doesn't literally stand for black on black. It's like black woman, black man, but it just stands for just being excellent in anything you do. There's not really a color pattern towards it. It's just really in the fact of trying to be the best in what you do, be excellent, practice great habits.
And even like to piggyback on black excellence, you know what I mean? It's a term that I've seen grown through 2018. You know what I'm saying? It's become like a prominent term that a lot of people have been using in the media. What is black excellence to you, like, and the importance of it?
Well, for me, black excellence is a mentality. It's being proud of who you are and where you're from, and sharing that message equally in the right way. And what it means to me, my parents are from Ghana. I come from a rich African background. My father was a Black Panther. So I grew up differently. I grew up on the Malcolm X. I grew up on the Eldridge Cleaver. I grew up on, Huey P. Newton. I grew up on understanding these different things. So now when I put it into my work, I have the research behind me that can back it up. So black excellence to me is more so understanding where you're from, being proud of where you're from, and helping other people understand where they're from, be proud of where they're from as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it really is.
Yeah, yeah. And like, you know, and we're gonna go through all these different things that you've gone through, right?
Mm-hmm.
For somebody who's been through basketball, right, like into the sports, somebody who spits hot fire,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? What inspired you to start this brand in the first place?
You know, it wasn't really so much of an inspiration. It kind of just happened organically. Just like with starting Ball Noir started, we're like, you know what? I'm traveling in all these cities. I was the first guy really championing Drake or championing all these other people from our city while I was playing basketball at Arizona State or in college. I was making sure people knew about my city and the music and where I'm from and our culture. So I felt like I needed something that can symbolize that. And that's how Ball Noir started. And now it just literally, it grew legs and matured into Noir and Noir as I matured.
Yeah.
You know, so it's organic.
Okay. And I see you like on IG with like rocking a lot of the clothes and even like the dope jacket you got right now, you know what I mean? And a t-shirt, right? And you got like different people. Like first of all, you got big names like Bernadette from Glam Squad. Who else? You got DJ Yasmina. You got all these different people rocking the brand. Like, so how did you connect to start getting the branding on all these different entertainers and stuff?
You know what? And this is the true story. The background of all of this stuff is I try to give everyone, I treat everyone like they're celebrity. So it doesn't matter to me of how much of a following they have or what their name is. Anybody who's rocking my brand, I try to repost it and give them that love the same way.
Yeah.
And because of my network already, it was cool for the fact that I knew these people beforehand and they supported it. So it was like automatic, like, okay, you support my brand, I support you. You'll post it and it'll be organic.
Yeah.
I don't like to force anything. I understand like one day someone who bought your brand can be like a quote unquote nobody, if you want to say that. And in 6 months they have 10.5 million followers and they're the biggest rapper or the biggest entertainer or the biggest whatever they are in their field. Yeah. So I put everyone in the same playing field. There's no red carpet for me.
Definitely. And okay, so let's go back. All right. You grew up in Rexdale.
Yes.
The notorious hood, you know what I'm saying? What was that experience like for you, like pre-teens going into teenage life?
Growing up in Rexdale, Deuce and Trey's, Humberline, it was an experience that molded me for life because I seen so much at a young age. And always being like the 12, 13-year-old, hanging out with guys that were 16, 17, 18 sometimes, and made me mature faster. And just being, I had to become street smart.
Yeah.
I had to become street savvy. I had to pay attention to people's body language if I didn't know what they were saying. I had to understand what crowds I need to be involved in and what crowds I don't need to be involved with. I want to be successful.
Yeah.
I couldn't make the mistakes I seen other people make, which landed them in a bad situation, or else I wouldn't be successful.
Yeah.
So I think growing up in Rexdale helped me with everything I'm doing in life. Like there's nowhere I don't go in the world and I feel comfortable. And I've lived in Juarez, Mexico. I'm in the third ward in Houston. It don't matter. I'm comfortable everywhere because I grew up in Rexdale.
Yeah.
It's like having survival instincts, you know. So it molded me on that end. On top, it molded me to be like a very versatile individual because I wanted to be the best in everything. So whether we're playing basketball, whether we were rapping, whether we're playing baseball, whether it's like who's gonna get that chick, whether it's gonna be like who's dressing the flyest, that's Rexdale's super competitive.
Yeah.
It's ultra competitive, so I wanted to compete. And it taught me to compete with every and anybody. It doesn't matter who you are and where you're from, that's how I was.
Yeah.
So Rexdale's huge for me. It's everything.
And even like from a young age, you're playing ball, you're rapping. Which one of the two was your first passion, basketball or rapping?
Basketball was my first passion, but music was, before I started rapping, music was a big passion of mine growing up because my father had all these records. He have every morning or every Sunday he's playing all these records from like Miles Davis, Marvin Gaye, James Brown was one of his favorites. And so we grew up in a musical household. So when New Edition and Bobby Brown came out, we was mimicking their moves in the house.
Yeah.
So I grew up in this level where I didn't even know I can rap because I used to be rapping all these other people's lyrics and memorizing it. My father one day was like, yo, how do you know all these guys' songs? I'm like, I don't know. I just listen to them when I memorize it.
Yeah.
Like, you can do your own thing too. And that's when I developed that skill. So basketball was my first passion, but simultaneously, music always been there in my life.
Yeah.
Streets keep calling, I try to block their number. They leave me voicemail saying coming home for the summer.
And it's only now that I understand to integrate the two.
Yeah.
Because to me, they're forms of entertainment.
No, it's true.
You know, so
It's true.
Yeah.
And like, was it always something that you wanted to do, or was there anything you ever wanted to do before, like basketball or rapping?
I was playing soccer at a young age, but I didn't have a passion to drive myself until I really seen like Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan on the court.
Yeah.
And then I really heard like Reasonable Doubt at a young age, and I'm like, I can be that.
Yeah.
I need to feel how he's feeling. Like I understood what he was doing, so those two things kind of drove me, and I knew it was never done. Like to be like a high level basketball player and be a high level rapper.
Yeah.
Never done. Period. So I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
If someone never do it, I'm gonna do that. That's how I felt.
And then you started playing ball in the States.
Yeah.
So how did that come together? Because I know you started playing ball for Arizona State. And prior to that, you're going to another school in Texas or something like that?
Yeah, Trinity Valley.
Right. So, okay, tell us that story of, because I know the story.
Yeah.
But for the people who don't know, how did that whole thing come together? Because a lot of people don't get to go to play ball in the States from Canada.
I mean, and growing up, it was like, even my parents, even though they're super supportive, without even knowing, they thought this basketball thing was just a thing to do. It wasn't as glamorized as it is now, because we didn't have that many people leaving Canada to go to America and go to the NBA at this time. So growing up, it was like, people were like, you really can't get a scholarship. It was difficult. So I told myself I was going to get one. So I worked myself to be the #1 player in Canada for like the last 2 years of my high school. And I went to all these big time camps in America because I was doing really well on the court.
Yeah.
And from there, I built a lot of momentum, and a lot of big time schools started recruiting me. From them recruiting me, I had some high level scholarship offers. I signed a scholarship to Rutgers University in the Big East. I couldn't go because of a clearinghouse issue with my paperwork and my transcripts.
Okay.
So that's when I had to go to junior college, the hard route, to Trinity Valley University. It's a 2-year school, but I graduated there in 1 year. I did all my work for one. I didn't come back home for 1 year, so I can have 3 years to play in Division I. And then I went to Arizona State to play Division I over there.
Okay. And in that time, what was one of your most, like, because that's a big deal, right? What was one of your most memorable moments, being out there in Arizona? And quick side note, for the people who don't know, Arizona State was like, I don't know, I think it was the #1 party college in Playboy magazine or something like that, they said at one 100%. Point.
So I was going to school, like in some of my courses, I have like 3 Playboy ladies in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was #1 party school in the world for like 5 years. Wow. Crazy, amazing experience. My #1 experience probably, I have 2. One, a basketball experience when we played UCLA, they're a #1 team, like Jordan Farmer and all those guys. We were winning. I had almost a triple-double. And at the end of the game, Jordan Farmer went by me, hit a game winner. The next game we played was on the road against Oregon. I did the same thing, had a game winner on them. But it wasn't UCLA, so that was a memorable moment for me because I kind of redeemed myself. And that was my first year at the school.
Yeah.
So it was a memorable moment for me. And then another memorable moment for me is just throwing the amazing parties in Arizona State and having NBA players like Amari Stoudemire, Sean Mayer, and those guys come and show love at our events or whatever we're doing. Yeah. That kind of sparked it. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, but now I know, like, okay, that sparked it since college. Like, being in that environment is what I'm doing now makes it so easy.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
And there's a lot of other things that were crazy, but we can't discuss on the camera, so.
That's pre-Instagram.
Right, yeah, pre-Instagram days. Right.
Wow.